All right, so now we're going to work on the testimonials, which is this part right here. The first box has the little testimonial or little quote icon, and on medium screens and up, they're going to be side by side. And they have some text as well as a user image and name and position. So let's go under this section here and say testimonials section and section ID testimonials, and then for classes we're going to do BG and use gray 50 as the light mode, and then on dark we're going to use BG dash dark blue. Okay, then we have the main container, so let's say container, and we're just going to use the class of container. We want to have everything in the middle, MX auto, padding PX6, PT12, push it down a little. Padding bottom is going to be 80, and on medium screens, we're going to do 96 for the padding bottom, because we're going to push the rest down quite a bit. And then we have our boxes container. So this is what we want to be a flex column to begin with, but then a flex row, because we have 3 of them. We want them to go across on medium screens. And we also want to make it relative, because the quotes are going to be within here. So relative, and then flex and flex call. And let's do width full, so width 100%, space Y6. On medium screens, we're going to make it a flex row, and on medium screens, we're going to remove that Y space, so space Y0, and we're going to add some X space, so medium screens space dash X dash 12. So that's our boxes container. Now we have our quotes image, which is going to be positioned absolute. So let's do image, and it's going to be absolute. And as far as the positioning, we'll say left, from the left 1, and then we're going to do negative top 2, because we want to bring it up a little outside of its container. And then the width we'll do 10, and on medium screens the position is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be negative top dash 16. Okay, that's medium. Also on medium screens, the width is going to be 20. Okay, and the image itself is images slash and then BG dash quotes. So let's save that, and we should see them there. Okay, so right under the quotes, still within the boxes container, we're going to do box 1. Okay, so box 1, this is going to be flex and flex call. It's always going to be vertical, because remember we're talking about the single box, so it's always going to be a column. And then let's do padding all around 10. Let's do space between the items 6, and then rounded we'll do large. Okay, on medium screens we want to do 1/3, which I can't type out like this, so we'll add that after. But background is going to be gray 100, but on dark mode it's going to be dark blue 3, so BG dash dark blue 3. Okay, and then let's just add on to here, on medium screens the width is going to be 1/3, because there's 3 of them. All right, and then inside here we'll have a paragraph. We're going to make the text small, and let's say leading dash 5, and then on medium screens we want the text to be large. So that's our paragraph, which I'm going to just grab real quick. So that's the testimonial. If I save that, that's what we're going to see. Now we want to go right under the paragraph, and then this is going to be the wrapper for the, I guess, the user, the customer, whatever. So let's put a comment here. We'll say customer info, and that's going to be wrapped in a flex box, and space. It's a row, so we're going to say space on the x-axis 4. So the first item is the image. We'll give it a class. Let's give it a width, so W10 and H-10, and we want it to be a circle, so rounded full. And then images slash, and this is going to be profile 1. Okay, and then directly under the image, we'll have our second item in this flex box, which will be a div with a title, so H5, text small, font is going to be semi-bold, and then the name, which is going to be Satish Patel. And underneath that, let's put a paragraph, and that's going to be text XS, so we'll make it smaller. And then font, we're going to do extra light, which I don't think we've used before. And he's going to be founder and CEO of Huddle. So if we save that, that's what it should look like. Now what we'll do is just copy box 1, which starts here and ends here. So we'll grab that. Let's go directly under it. Paste that in. So this will be box 2. And as far as what we want to change, everything should be the same except for the content. So I'm just going to switch out the text here. Actually, no, it's the same text. All right, so we're not going to switch the text. But we are going to switch the image to profile 2. And I'm going to just put a different name and position in here. So we get Bruce McKenzie, founder and CEO of Huddle. Let's just say Huddle 2. Save that. There we go. And now let's go right under, or let's copy box 2, which ends right here. And this is going to be box 3. We're just going to change the profile image to 3. And also the name here. I'll say CEO of Huddle 3. Save that. Okay, and if we make this bigger, it should be put into Flex Row. All right, cool. So now we have the early access section, which is this box with the form in it, some text. So pretty simple. So let's go down underneath this last section, and this is going to be the early access section. Say section, and we'll just give it an ID of early dash access, and we're going to make it relative px6 on dark mode, or in dark mode. It's going to have a background of dark blue 2. And then on medium screens, let's do padding on the x-axis 0. So in here, we're going to have a box. So this box right here, which is going to be a light gray on light mode, and it'll be that dark blue on dark mode. So let's do relative, and we're going to place it. I want it to be above. See how there's like a line here that splits these two, and then this is above it. So I'm going to place it above it, and that's why I did relative, so I can use a top class. So I'm going to say negative top 40 for the positioning. And then let's do max. We'll do max width of 4XL, and MX auto for padding, we'll do 10 all around and 6 on the x-axis. And then space Y6, we're going to center the text. And on, actually, let's not do that just yet. So text center, then we'll do rounded. So we want it to have rounded large corners. And the background on light mode is going to be gray 200. So on dark mode, the background is going to use the dark blue 1 custom color. Okay, and on medium screens, we're just going to do a padding X16. So that's our box. If I just put something in here, let's check it out. Okay, so now I can see the box. And it doesn't have enough content in it yet to go like for this line to be going in between it. But we're going to add into this now an H5. So let's get rid of that. Let's do an H5. And this is going to be text-2XL and font bold. And we'll just say get early access today. Okay, so we have our heading, and then underneath that we'll have a paragraph with text small. And I'm just going to grab that. Okay, and then underneath that we're going to have an input and a button next to each other, which it's going to be flex call on small screens, but they're going to be side by side in a row on larger screens. So right under the paragraph, let's just say input and button container. So we'll make this flex dash call, items align start, space Y6. On medium screens, we're going to go ahead and make it a flex row. And we're also going to get rid of the space Y and then add to the space X. We'll do 6 for that. Okay, and then within that, we're going to have a div wrapping around the input that has a width full. And on medium screens, we want to say flex 1. And what that does is it'll have it take up any remaining space. So the button next to it will take up whatever it takes up, and then this will take up the remainder. And in here, we're going to have our input, and we're going to do a width full on this because we want the input to be 100% of its container. Padding on the x-axis will do 10, and then padding on y will do 3. And let's do rounded full. And then on focus, we just want to remove the outline. And the type, let's see, we'll just leave it at text, and then let's add a placeholder. So for the placeholder, we'll just say email@example.com. And then I think we should be good for that. So now we want the button, which is still going to be within this container, this right here. Not this one. This goes just around the input. So we want to go right under that and put in our button. And that's going to also be with full, padding 3, px 6, and let's make that rounded full as well. And the background, we're going to use accent cyan. And then on medium screens, we're going to do a width of 56, and then hover. I'm just going to scale it up, scale it down. So scale -95. And we'll say get started for free. All right, so if I make this bigger, they should go side by side into a flex row. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. So in the next video, we're going to get to the footer, and we're also going to make the smooth scroll navigation.